So Pete Wentz and Andy Hurley are here, and here they come. Fall Out Boy is here. I'm so excited. And they're bringing 30 seconds worth of music with them.
So what did we say? 30 seconds worth of interview. Nice to see you guys. Bye.
Hello.
Let me ask you, though. There's the music end of what you do, then there's the business end.
Yes.
So if you had your way, they wouldn't be sending us 30 seconds. You just send us music, we'd all enjoy it because you're musicians, you're artists. Right?
Yes, that's why they don't let us make those decisions. Sure, I don't know. Pay what you want. I always wondered if people listen to just like the 30-second clips. Like, that was great. That was enough of that Fall Out Boy song that I needed.
Didn't Radiohead do that? They were like, pay whatever you want for this album a few years ago.
Steal it. Didn't it?
Yeah.
Who had an album called Steal This Album?
Yeah, it's really easy to do that when you're like, millionaires hanging out in London or whatever.
Yeah.
I know, but so yesterday I said, well, are we going to play a new song, a new cut? They said, yeah, they're going to let you play 30 seconds of a song. I'm like, that's fabulous. It gives me something.
Nice.
It gives me something to bitch and moan about. At least you gave me 30 seconds. It wasn't 10.
At least we did that.
See?
I said 5 seconds, but I got shot down.
Just one 5 seconds. One note.
Oh boy.
Just one note.
Yeah.
A bar of
You
music.
hit the drum once. That's all you get.
5 seconds.
Well, so here it is, your 7th studio album, and this is once again you find yourself the day before a release. What's it like? What's it like on Christmas Eve, basically?
Kind of stressful, I guess, because you don't really know what people are going to think about it.
Do you care?
Yeah.
Okay, dumb question. You do care.
Yeah. Absolutely.
See, this is where I've always we call music art, music, whatever. This is where I'm a little conflicted. As an artist, let's say you're painting a woman sitting, in front of a barn with a pitchfork, whatever. You're painting this because it's something you need to express. It's something you want to get out there. It's a collaboration of your left hand, your right hand, and your brain and your heart. So what people care about it, who cares? But music is different. You do want some positive feedback.
Yeah, I also think that like with music, it's so pervasive now. Like my buddy said it, but like no one goes and like when they get their heart broken, like open their favorite app on their phone. People like listen to songs, so you want songs that are there for people when they're sad or they're happy or they're breaking through in life or something like that. But at the same time, like we put out weird ones. Like this album has some weird songs on it.
Like what do you mean by weird?
We put out this song called Young and Menace, and I would say that it's the musical equivalent of a cat chasing a laser beam,
That's a good
But,
explanation.
it felt necessary,
Right?
It felt like painting the woman at the barn with the pitchfork.
That was our truth.
Yeah. What mood are you in when you're like, this is the song you got to write? This is the song we have to perform. What mood does that look like for you guys?
I think that sometimes they're straight ahead songs, but like literally every time we've ever brought a song to our label or whatever, they're like, I don't know about this one.
I was just going to ask that. I was going to say, do you guys ever say, yeah, this is not going to work?
I don't think we ever say it because like Patrick will sometimes like have some weird ideas. I'm like, that's a weird one, but that's fun.
I like the weird ones.
Yeah, but then we take it to the label, and we've had a couple of like, I don't know about this one.
So there is this line between what you want to do and what others think you should do.
Oh yeah, isn't there in your world too?
Yeah, of course it is.
Yeah.
No, if we did the show that we wanted to do,
forget it.
we'd be unemployed.
This building would have burned down multiple times. A lot of the ideas involve fire.
We would be unemployable.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay, I get it then. You just proved your point. I was telling the guys earlier, I went in to say good morning. I told them I listened to the new Justin Timberlake album yesterday.
And we were about to play the whole album. Oh no, we're not. No.
I believe me.
Oh my gosh.
The way they give it to you to play, you have to enter all these codes and you have to walk through these fiery hallways. And I listened to the album, and I said to myself the same thing you said to me. Justin is at a point in his career where he can just make whatever he wants. Yeah. And because it's his art. And I'm sure someone from the label called and said, you know what, you really should put a ballad on there. And he's going to go, F you. I'm going to put what I want on there.
Yeah.
Well, so why?
30-second clips for everybody.
I had so much fun listening to his album yesterday.
Yeah.
It was just a lot of fun.
I like that you said it was an album. Like every song kind of needed to be back to back.
Let's talk about that. So Mania.
Yeah.
Is this a song? Is this a collection of songs, or is this a one experience? Like, how do you prefer your fans to listen to your music?
Well, we do an album, and it's meant to be an album. Though the track order is wrong on iTunes for some reason. I don't really understand. Technology is so great, but the track order is wrong. But yeah, it's meant to be consumed as an album. But we also have to make stuff because I understand that people are going to listen to songs on the radio or to playlists, and so like we have casual listeners as well, which is kind of an interesting way for people to listen.
And you do shuffle too on your
Shuffle. Yeah, exactly.
You
got to find a balance between an album and collection of songs.
Yeah, and I also think that like the thing more than anything is like I think this is like I've been telling people like it's like a 2-listen album kind of, like it's not. I don't know that people are going to get it on the first one, but like I think it's one that you can live with for a longer time, so I think that's what the album is.
Well, I tell you, I think it's.
Can we only give them 30 seconds, please? Let's like take back.
Okay. Well, you said 30 seconds of the song, but I have connections. I have the entire song.
Oh no!
And so I will play the whole song just to piss you off.
Okay.
I don't know. I think of Fall Out Boy. By the way, Andy and Pete from Fall Out Boy are here tomorrow. Mania is out. I pre-order it now. You can pre-order it, right? Is that how that works?
Oh yeah.
I just think of you guys as being at a point where you go into a studio, you do what you want to do. I don't think you have to prove anything to anyone except for yourselves. I hope you still feel that when you go into the studio or when you go write your music.
We definitely do, I think. I think we are on the other side of it, almost like where we're like, or at least with me, like when someone's like, oh my God, like I learned how to drum because like Andy Hurley's like, my biggest inspiration. I'm like my 15-year-old buddy Andy Hurley's like we're just like in this punk rock band. Oops. Like, and like, so it's like weird because it feels like we still haven't made it, or like we still haven't earned even like, like a spot at the party or something.
But maybe that's a good edge to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
Do you think that will ever go away?
The loser edge.
Do you think you'll ever feel like you've earned your spot, or is that when you stop trying, do you think?
Maybe you like lose that hunger, or I don't really know. Yeah. Yeah, it's like it's a weird feeling to have,
You guys are like the hot girl who doesn't know she's hot.
Thank you.
Like you've made it, but you're still not quite sure.
Yeah.
There's a movie there somewhere. There's a rom-com here somewhere, reach out to us.
You don't know you're hot.
And you may feel that way, but I'm sure the label gives you more like freedom because you have made it and you know what you're doing.
Oh, wait, the label's here.
Yeah. Do you guys give them more freedom?
How much freedom does Fall Out Boy have?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, perfect. Let's renegotiate the deal on the air. All
right. I will tell you. Oh, okay, before we have a very important something we've got to spring on you. But before we do that, Mania, which is out tomorrow, what can we expect from it? What can you tell us that would excite us and make us want to learn more?
Well, I think that it's our first album where we've done something where I think we've come into an era where you hear, like Diplo, or you hear whoever, and you realize that genre doesn't matter as much anymore. Like kids, like I have a 9-year-old now, which is crazy. I almost have a human that's been alive for a decade, but he just listens to songs. So he just like is like, I like Queen and I like Lil Uzi and and it's just all over the place. And I think this is like we've taken a lot of restrictions off what Fall Out Boy would have been in the past. Even the song that we gave you either 2 minutes or 3 minutes of, right. It's something we'd never done before, I think it's like Patrick just released, what I mean? It's just like, just go and sing however, and it's not, there's not this restriction of like, this is what it has to be.
I love that. What do you think, Andy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my usual
Andy
2 cents.
So easy to be in a band with.
But I like that. By the way, Pete, you mentioned your son is 8 years old?
9.
9. Do you remember when he was born, I sent a Mercedes?
Yes. No, a BMW.
A BMW.
Yeah, because that's his initials.
I sent that's right.
Yeah.
I sent a BMW. Not a real one, but the kind a little kid can drive.
We could have just let everybody think that you said a real one.
Dang!
Did he ever drive it, ever?
Yeah, he did. And then this was I actually know what happened with it. So he drove it all the time, and then we left it outside, and it rained on it, and it stopped working. And so I had like a kid like BMW in the driveway.
You take it to the mechanic. I would
into-
love to see you bring that into a mechanic and be like, "What can you do?"
I don't know.
with this?
What can you do?
Yeah. Turned it into like a big ashtray or
Yeah.
something. All right. I tell you what. Next kid gets a Benz.
Benz.
Yeah.
All right, please. Yeah.
Absolutely.
But a real one.
So years ago, where's Greg T? Years ago, Greg T, who works on our show, you guys did you and Patrick did a liner for him, and here's what you said.
Oh no.
What's up? This is Pete
And Patrick?
from Fall Out Boy. And hey, Greg T, go yourself. No, I'm just kidding. We think you're a rad dude, and we should hang out in real life instead of just in front of microphones with our pants off.
All right. So he's here today. You're here today. Greg T, you promised him you'd take your pants off and hang out with him, and here he is with. All right, Greg T.
So excited.
Greg T is wearing
All right.
nothing but a
my
bathrobe, and
Yeah.
come on.
So like you said a couple of
here we
years
go.
ago.
You just sit around.
Can't take off your clothes, fellas.
So Greg T
Let's
is
go, bro.
Here is Greg
Come on,
T.
man. Empty pants. Let's go,
He's
dude.
got nothing but underwear on.
Come on, Andy.
I didn't say that.
go,
Pete did,
Pete.
so I'm
Yeah,
cool.
You can never
to be
unsee
fair,
this.
to be fair, and wasn't Andy who said
Get
hang
on
out?
doing it.
Let's go. Take them off, fellas.
Andy always takes his shirt off. But
Let's go, rock stars.
Guys, please. You did tell Greg T you would hang out with them with your pants off.
Yeah.
And so Greg T's got his pants off. Right. Oh,
Let's go.
Pete pulled his pants
Nice.
down.
All right. Nice job, Pete.
All right,
Nice
all right.
job. Let's go, Andy.
Glad I'm wearing
Pete
underwear.
Wentz
Take
is
them
now,
off.
is now pantless.
Glad I'm wearing
Go,
underwear
Andy.
today.
All right.
You
got
don't have to. You have underwear on, right?
Yeah, I
He's
did.
got
I
a
hope.
look. He's got a check.
Oh, it's Thursday. It's Thursday. There you go. Dude, they're making good on their promise.
All right.
T.
Very cool.
Greg T.
Very cool, bro. Very cool, bro.
Greg T,
Very awkward.
father of two and professional radio announcer,
Yeah.
is now hanging out with Fall Out Boy with his pants off.
That's right.
There you go.
And I'm gonna say,
But our pants are still around our ankles, so it's kind of weird.
And your underwear fits a lot better than Greg T's underwear.
Well, that's great. That's
Not
great.
so much. If you see Pete's underwear is a little loose, now we know why they call them Fall Out Boy.
All right.
I have to say, I have to get a lot more tattoos in order to hang out with these dudes. Look at this.
Please, that's our
Unreal.
next liner challenge.
So as Pete Wentz and Andy
You know
Hurley,
you do like a lot of liners when you're like, go F yourself, here's my pants. Like, what is even happening?
you ran out of things to say.
Because the last liner in the liners is always like, say something funny about him. He loves it when you like, in every liner it's like, just say something funny about him. They love it.
And that was what was funny that day. Let's F you. Let's hang out with our pants off. Which he
God's
took. He
sakes.
took literally. Well,
Oh,
okay,
man.
so we have members of Fall Out Boy and Greg T without pants on. Greg T, I don't.
Now what do we do?
We play some music.
All right.
30 seconds.
So you sent me which cut? Heaven's Gate. All
This is
you-
Heaven's Gate.
Okay, so the record company, the music company, sends me 30 seconds. Well, it's not released yet, but we'll let you play 30 seconds.
And you
of
gotta like
Heaven's
log
Gate.
in on this thing. And
Yeah, you gotta log in, and we'll allow you to play 30 seconds to
Yeah.
your run. And I'm like, I got some friends, so I made some calls. I got the full cut. So we can either play 30 seconds of Heaven's Gate or play the song as it's supposed to be played.
We got no pants on, man. Let's do the whole thing.
By the way, that's the second I've heard that today. I've got no pants, so I'll do the whole thing.
Do the whole thing.
All right. We thank you guys for coming in today.
Yeah, man.
Mania. 7th studio album. It's Fall Out Boy. You got to add it to your collection. It's due out tomorrow. And as you heard them say, they did it their way. No restrictions. And so another reason why you're a fan of Fall Out Boy. They're doing it their way.
I mean, and if you could get this or the Justin Timberlake album, get this because Justin Timberlake's album is not out yet.
There's one good reason to buy this over the Justin Timberlake album. Pete, Andy, thank you guys for coming in today. Fall Out Boy. This is Heaven's Gate.